Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you are new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you. I'd love you to hit that subscribe button before leaving and give it a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get started. So today's video is all about a foundation that I've heard so much about in the beauty chit chat group that I'm in. So many people rave about the Neutrogena Healthy Skin and how they just love this drugstore foundation, that it beats all other high ends that they've tried. I know when I was researching this foundation, it was like compared to NARS, which is a very well-liked foundation. So I'm really excited to try it. The only thing that I was bummed about is I ordered it online and I got Natural Ivory because I've tried the Neutrogena Hydro Boost in Natural Ivory, and this color looks a lot different. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the same color. And they look completely different. So I want to go ahead and swatch them for you so you can see the difference. So this is in the Hydro Boost, and this is in 20 Natural Ivory, and then I'm going to do the Neutrogena Healthy Skin, which looks a lot darker. Now the difference between these two, if you haven't seen that review, I can link it down below, but this one has a doe foot wand applicator, whereas the Neutrogena Healthy Skin is just a pour bottle, which is nice in a sense because then you don't have to waste product or anything. So right here is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin in Natural Ivory, and as you can see, it is a completely different shade. This one is a lot lighter. This one has like a little bit more of a tan base to it. So when I first got it in the mail, I was a little worried that this was not going to match my skin tone. However, I was playing around with it for a couple of days just to kind of see how it wore and what my thoughts were, and I usually don't do that, but I was pleasantly surprised that the color goes really well. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put it on for you, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts about it and how it wears. I'm going to start with my vitamin C, and I've talked about this vitamin C before. It comes in a little dropper. I love it because of the price point of it. It doesn't break out my skin at all. Oh, it smells so good. But it also doesn't turn colors like other vitamin C serums that I have tried, where they go bad in like 2 or 3 weeks. This one does not do that because it is made with glacier water, and it's just made a little differently. So I highly recommend this one if you have not tried it and you want to try a vitamin C, because I have had absolutely no problems with this vitamin C. It's really, really good. Okay, so like I was saying while that sets in, is when I first got that in the mail, I was a little concerned because this one you can tell is definitely darker. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. I'm just gonna pour it into my hand, and I will, you know, honestly, I have never tried it with a brush. I've always been putting it on with my sponge. So I'll do half of my face in the sponge and half it in the brush and see what I think. I just pour it onto my hand and just dip my sponge right in there. But one of the things that I noticed is this color, even though I thought it was going to be too dark, actually works really, really well. And I'm kind of thinking that I always lean towards buying light colors, knowing that I'm very fair and porcelain skin toned, but I actually think that this suits my skin a lot better, and that it looks more natural. So I think I might be going like a shade too light normally when I buy my foundations, and this one definitely kind of just matches exactly. So I was really pleasantly surprised because I really thought it looked way too dark in this bottle. Okay, so that's half of it with the sponge. As you can see, it does have that beautiful natural like glow look that NARS gives you when you wear it. It's not super glowy, but it just looks really healthy and natural. Let's go ahead and try the brush. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Brush. I have not done it with a brush, so I'm not quite sure. I kind of prefer foundations with my sponge. I feel like when you have fair skin, a lot of foundations, when you're using a brush, tend to leave the strokes and doesn't look as nice. But that's all a personal preference, so let's go ahead and do a brush and see how it turns out. It's going on almost the same. You can tell that just like you would expect with a brush, it is definitely thicker on this side. It gives more coverage. This side, I want to say it's definitely like a medium, kind of leaning towards the light, whereas this one's medium, kind of leaning towards the more full coverage, but it looks very natural. It doesn't look heavy or like you're wearing a lot of makeup. This might be something you might want to do if you're going out and you're trying to have your face look very, very even toned, but I don't mind having a little bit of coloration show through and have that natural kind of flushed look. It looks pretty either way. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe off the rest that's on my hand. And then I have been setting it with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I've really liked setting it with this. It wears really nice throughout the day. So I've worn it for 2 days now, and I will say that I put it on around 6:30 in the morning, and I take it off around like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and it wears very, very nicely. The only thing I do notice is that towards dinner time, I will start to see that glowiness. Like right now when I'm setting it with the powder, all that glowiness goes away. The powder really does a great job of blurring your pores and getting rid of any of that shine. So right now, there's like no shine from the foundation when you set it. But I notice around like dinner time or late afternoon, that glow that when I first had, when I first put it on, is what I start to see again. But it's not like super shiny. It doesn't look like something you have to touch up. It just looks like you have that healthy, natural glow again. So it's not like something that you have to be concerned about having to touch up. It doesn't look like too greasy or oily or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put my Maybelline Fit Me blush in Noon. I will tell you that it does settle into this line, but to be honest with you, every foundation that I wear settles into that line because it is a very deep line. Otherwise, throughout the day, it looks really good. I don't see it really settling into pores or really showing anything other than that forehead mark right here. And that's kind of hard to do with anything, so. Okay, I'm gonna use my Naked 2 Basics palette. I love this palette, especially for traveling, because it has your darks and lights, and you can do your whole face. I look with this, an eyeliner. I did break this one, so I'm losing that color. I'm just gonna go in with a brush and go in with the lightest color that I still have left and put it all over my eyelid, all the way up to my brow bone to kind of make all of that one tone and even. Okay, then I'm going to go in with one of my flat end brushes and I'm going to mix these two together to try to do, I'll start with the darker one and bring it up into my crease. Kind of giving that halo effect, so I kind of started at a quarter of the way towards the out and then brought it up in. If you notice, I'm not bringing it into the center here because I want to leave that lighter, so it kind of makes your eye pop and look a little bit more awake, and focus on the shadow on the outer like V and then up into the halo. And I'm going to go back with the lighter color and just kind of buff it, doing swirling motions to kind of tie it all back together. So anyone who has been following me for a good amount of time, you'll know that I prefer more natural eye looks, something that just can go with any type of outfit that you're wearing, and I just like it to look natural but put together. I'm just going to go ahead and use my angle brush, and I'm using it to do just so it's like a shadow underneath. I personally like that better. I feel like it gives a much softer effect. And then I'm going to go into the darkest color and I'm going to line the upper. Not going all the way over, but starting a little bit over more than half and just bringing it over. And do the same thing on this side. And then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and just sweep away any of the excess. And I honestly don't always use concealer underneath my eyes. I find it just as effective to go with my sponge, just to tap it right on top of the bottle, whatever there is up there, just a little bit, and just dab it back underneath my eye. So if there is any fallout, and it kind of gives that one extra layer of coverage there. And then I'll just take my big fluffy brush and whatever's left on there, and just dab it on there to kind of set it. Like that. Okay, then for my brows, I pulled this out one of my other videos when I was doing the drugstore video, and I hadn't used it in a while, and I forgot how easy it is to do your brows and how great it looks. It sets them down and everything. It's like 2-in-1. It's the L'Oreal Brow Stylist. It's this little tiny brush that you just glide on through. It gives color, and it also sets them down like as if you're using a gel. So instead of using a brush and a gel, you just use this, and it colors it and sets it down for you, and it's just super easy and convenient to use, but still looking natural and just kind of filling in anywhere that you might have a couple of sparse hairs. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use my favorite lip gloss, where'd it go, of all time, which is the Revlon Supernatural. It's like your lips with better color. I love this lip gloss. It is so, so pretty. It's this beautiful like pinky nude. And it looks good on its own, which is a lot of times how I wear it, but it also looks good on top of lipstick. It is my all-time favorite lip gloss color. Especially if you want, if you have fair skin and you want that natural nude look, but a lot of the nudes don't really kind of go with fair skin. This one does. Okay, and then for my eyelashes, I'm just going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes. This is a step you can skip if you're not really big into curling them. And so far, my favorite still is the L'Oreal primer with the mascara. I just love this look. It does a great job separating and lengthening, and you can get a bold look or a natural look with it, depending upon really how much of the primer you put on. So the more primer you put on, I find, like if you layer the primer, the more of a bold look that you will get. Looks funny, it looks like I have snowflakes in my lashes. Okay, and then I don't wait, I just go ahead and go with the one I did first. Starting down at like the base and kind of just shimming it on up. But one of the things I love about it is I feel like it gives me the same look that the Lash Paradise did, which I thought it was beautiful, but it always flaked on me, which is why I didn't like that mascara, and this one does not flake. So I really, really am pleased with the way that it looks. Okay, so overall, my thoughts on this foundation is that I can see why a lot of people like the foundation. It is a beautiful foundation. It kind of reminds me of my Lancome foundation, but I know a lot of people compare it to the NARS. And like I said, during the day, I do set it with a powder. And when I set it with a powder, it looks more matte because of the powder. But otherwise, not by itself, it has more of that dewy, like natural glow to it. This color, Natural Ivory, and this one actually suits my skin tone, especially in the spring and summertime, better than the Hydro Boost, even though it's the same company and same color. And my other thoughts on it are, yes, it does get like that dewy glow towards like midnight, but it looks almost like a healthy, like pretty glow. It doesn't look like too greasy or something that you have to touch up. So I definitely think that this is something that you should try if you have not tried it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.